Seahawks, the Bears, which they should win that one. And then the last two divisional games, the Vikings and the Lions. So don't talk about it, Aaron. Be about it. Come on, bro. Oh, really?
He's not, really? He's not buying it. All right, Trevor Siemian did his best Peyton Manning impression while working on his injured foot here. They do look alike. So this is just a picture and you can react.
Well, it's good for him, but I mean, the internet's exploding. Haters gonna hate, man. People are gonna get on. They're gonna say, Trevor Siemian's trying to just be like Peyton Manning. Heck yeah. I try to be like Peyton Manning, too.
Me too.
I try to be just like him because he was pretty darn good.
Yeah.
The haters gonna hate. They're gonna make fun of Trevor Siemian no matter what he does.
If you're an NFL quarterback, you could pick a worse person to try and be like than Peyton Manning. That's it.
The biggest change is the practice intensity and how there's music every day of practice.
Huddle up, here we go, Tiger, Tiger.
Coach McAdoo has a great personality and he's always smiling. Definitely somebody that likes to interact with the players.
He's the players' coach.
Philosophies are very stern and they're very straightforward.
He's going to tell you what he's thinking. He's going to tell you what he wants from you.
Well, look, the Giants defense, they spent a lot of money in the offseason, and they're so much better late, that's for sure. You can look at last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, allowing 16 points. That's best in the NFL. The year before, among the worst. And Ryan Clark joining us now. Good to have you with us. Strong safety Landon Collins has been one of the best defensive players in the league, hasn't he?
Thanks, Boom. As a former LSU Tiger, I followed Landon Collins ever since he infamously committed to Alabama instead of LSU. The speed, the power, the raw talent jumped off the film, but I always thought there was more there. So I decided to invite him back home to Louisiana to train with me this offseason. After sled pushes, box jumps, endless middle of the field drills, he's seen that pay off for him this year. Leading the team in interceptions, tackles, he's a major player in the Defensive Player of the Year award. So with the Steelers looming this weekend, I decided to visit Landon and talk about some of his biggest plays of the season.
I'm killing them, sorry for your loss. I can never lose, what you thought? Now this year I'm really going on.
What were your focuses in the offseason, and how has that transferred to the field?
Well, first of all, my biggest focus was to lose the weight, and you definitely helped me with that and making sure.
Well, I just basically fat shamed you most of the time.
You definitely did that, but film was the biggest key after that, and then work ethic. I never had muscle endurance. It was more of just beat a person down and last all the way to the fourth quarter, and I had more strength than the person that was in front of me.
I've loved all the interceptions this year. What is your favorite interception of the year?
It gotta be the Rams. The pick six, it gotta be.
Back to throw is Keenum, throws it over the middle, it's deflected, and intercepted by Landon Collins.
A tip off a tip?
Off the tip. Do they say it was a tipped interception, or do they say it was an interception?
They say it was an interception.
Okay, so it's interception.
So really, you just like the run back?
Yeah, the run back part of it, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He races to the 40, cuts back left, now reversing to the near side. Collins hit from behind, runs out of a tackle at the 30, 25-20, he's to the 15, weaving his way to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Your interception I hated the most, which was Philly. It's the first quarter, Philadelphia Eagles game. You guys are in man. There's a stacked set. Go stand over there and kind of tell me what you're seeing and what you think.
All right. First of all, I knew by film study what the route was, so I played it off the leverage and what they was going to do from the stack. So I already knew what route was coming.
Okay, so Trey Burton comes up the field. He tried to lean inside on you and break out.
Yep.
So at this point, what were you thinking and what were you seeing?
What I was seeing after that, I already knew he was breaking out. He can't outrun me, and I know he's going to the sideline. It really was condensed. He was running the plate into the boundary, so I was like, I could undercut it. So that's what I did. I let him out, let him get in front of me, and I undercutted him. And then just played the quarterback from there.
So here's my issue with it, right?
Okay.
When Trey Burton breaks out, what are you looking at?
Looked at him, but I'm already on him like this to undercut the play.
Right, so it allows you to see to the quarterback and see Aguilar coming off.
Correct.
So when you look back to the quarterback, what feel did you get from Carson Wentz that let you know that he was going to Aguilar and not Trey because it was a great instinctive play?
Well, when he threw the ball, it was off balance because he was off his back foot. He had pressure in his face. I saw my defensive end, OV, about to sack him. So he kind of just threw off his back foot, so it was kind of overthrown.
You were wrong because you should have never saw that because you should have been getting to the top shoulder, but I thought it was a great play. And even more impressive pick was against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Back to throw, throws it deep over the middle, intercepted by Landon Collins. Collins.
Boy, that was a great play by Landon Collins.
They had you guys spread out. You were in a cover 2. What are your first initial thoughts and steps in a cover 2 set?
My first initial steps is always backwards. Then my initial read is 2. So I'm playing off of 2. If 2 was to go out or in, I'm playing off his left. So he was to go in, my next read was to go to 3.
And so in that, Tyler Boyd, who was the slot receiver number 2, he comes up the field and breaks in. So now you have a tight end screaming up the field on Keenan Robinson and Andy Dalton zeroing in on him. What was your thought process then, and what led you to the interception?
Well, when I looked at 2 and I saw him squeeze in, I saw 1 that's doing the same thing. So they ran the same exact route, and I saw 3 running down the seam. I weaved to 3.
Right, so 3's coming up the field here.
Yep.
Throws the ball inside, over the top, some kind of way you make a catch.
Yeah.
What happens to you when you get the football? You seem to get into offensive mode quickly, which is what the great ones do.
I mean, just go back to what I've always been. I mean, before even playing safety, I was a running back. So I just go back when the ball is in my hands. It's just a trigger to me just trying to score. That's my mindset, to score.
All right, Ryan, good to, hey, it takes one to know one, and Ryan and Landon Collins certainly have a feel for the ball. Kirk, I mean, look, second-round pick, the first pick of the second round a year ago by the Giants. Tom Coughlin's last draft, we had to throw that in there. Landon Collins, when he played at Alabama, you saw him a lot. Did you think he would be this good this quick?
I've been surprised at his variety of skill set because in college he was known as a thumper. I mean, he was that safety, you get down in the box, blow people up in the run game. I think what's surprised college football people is how much he's been able to become a guy that can get out on the edge and defend that slot receiver and show the skill set to be able to do that. It's you guys know in college football you get these big physical guys that are known for their ability to come up and get in the box and get physical. This guy has really shown me, and just really good piece there with Ryan, his ability to now get out there and understand defenses, which allows him to be able to play out in space, which I think says a lot about the safeties of today. Charles, you lived it. Yeah. It used to be corners that could do that. Now safeties are doing it.
A lot of Alabama big-time defensive players from Saban that have really made a mark the last 5-7 years.
You know, I think of all the coaches, especially on the defensive side, he still finds guys that love football. Yeah. You guys are around high school players. You understand what I'm talking about. It's one thing to break down film and look at guys who can make plays. It's another thing to find kind of that old-school gym rat guy that loves ball. That's what Nick Saban does, especially with his linebackers and his defensive backs.
You got to go back and spy on that selection committee in the grapevine. You got to go look in.
We're going to try to figure it out.
We needed the ratings boost in this segment, though.
So you got spying to do. All right, look, 8-3 Giants have won 6 in a row. The only team to beat Dallas, that beat them in week 1. They're at 6-5 Pittsburgh. This is a really good game. What are you looking at?
It's a great game, Boom, and it's a yak game. We played the Steelers last year, and Chuck Pagano said, no yak allowed, no yak allowed. What is yak? Yards after catch. Antonio Brown, one of the best in the game. But let me show you another guy, OBJ. He's also one of the best in the game with yards after the catch. This guy takes normal routes, catches like a little slant here. It's actually a running play where the quarterback has the option to throw it if he likes the matchup. A little slant, and he takes it to the house. This is a difference maker that changes a game. Here he is again, one-on-one. They bring the safety down in the box. Here's another slant. This is just a slant. It's like a 1st and 10 call, 2nd and 5. He takes it to the house. These are touchdown plays, and what defensive coordinators say, they say, hey, he's going to get his catches. Just make the tackle. Here's an instance in the red zone where the DB's playing off. He's like, all right, I'm going to let him get his catch, and I'm going to hurry up and get the tackle. No yak, and then bam, double move on a joust route here, touchdown, and then the touchdown dance. And again, I think AB and OBJ, 2 of the best in the game at yards after the catch. And there's the sign. No yak allowed. You know about this, Charles.
I know about the yak, man, yeah.
I'm going to go with the Giants. I think they've got more than one guy with yards after the catch ability.
Wow.
I'll pick the Giants in a good game.
Well, I'm looking at the game, and to me, it is who has the most time to be able to get the ball off. You just talked about both offense have weapons. The New York Giants, I think, have more weapons, but to me, it's which quarterback is going to be able to get the ball out. So to me, I'm looking at the pass rush of the New York Giants and what they've been able to do this year. They've sold a lot of things up with the free agency, bringing big money guys in. We've talked about it all year, what they're able to do down in the red zone. I'm going with the New York Giants.
Think about that money they brought in, and they spent more than Jerry Reese GM spent more money in free agency than any other general manager, and it went directly to their greatest need, learning how to close out games. They had 5 fourth-quarter leads last year. Now they're closing out games. JPP, Olivier Vernon, 10.5 sacks for the last 4 weeks. More money in free agency. 24 teams in the league over directly to their greatest need, learning how to. Janoris Jenkins, I know you're going to talk about. I mean, this money was well spent on closeout defense. They know how to end games. Their offense is explosive with all the weapons you're talking about. And saying all that, I still like the Steelers. I think the Steelers are just getting ready to heat up here.
A lot of compliments there.
Yeah, well, Running for office in 2 years.
I'm gonna go with the Giants just for all the things that you said before you then went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah,
you'll learn.
But the money they spent on defense, like you said, was money spent in the right place. And when you talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, you need guys on defense that can match up with some of their best players. So you go out and spend money on a Janoris Jenkins, a guy who I think, when you talk about body-wise, quickness-wise, matches up well with Antonio Brown. You need guys like that on your defense that I think today they're talking about shadowing him against Antonio Bryant. Landon Collins, they just did the piece on him. He's playing, like you said, he's in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Olivier Vernon, he's not getting a lot of recognition right now because JPP on the other side is putting up such a dominant performance in the last couple of games. But defensively is the reason why I like the Giants today.
Well, most of you guys on you know what's fun if you're a football fan here? Eli and Ben, same draft. They never play. I mean, so this is good. Each with 2 Super Bowl. I mean, this is good stuff. Here's in doing homework on this game. I didn't realize the Giants tied for 3rd fewest points allowed in the NFC going into the week. I didn't know that. We showed you at the end. But however, like Trent. That being said, good enough.
Don't do it, Boom.
Stop Pittsburgh.
You're going
at
Steelers,
home.
right?
No.
That's why I went. I went with the
do the double reverse, Boom. But
Pittsburgh at home in November, right? At home in November? I got Pittsburgh, too. Pittsburgh at home in November and a must-win.
Thank you.
It's hard to go against Big Ben.
No, but you know what? You know who's discussing your pick right now? You know who's discussing your pick right now? Let's look. They just heard. This is the committee in Grapevine. You remember the song "Heard It Through the Grapevine"?
Yeah.
This is the committee in Grapevine. Herbie's going back to do a little wiretapping. And they're on at noon. We'll be back.
Coming up.
Being able to put things on your cleats, put reminder things that keep you motivated and inspired. That's what it's all about.
We take you into the custom cleat laboratory. And who's in? Our guys rank their top 4 teams in the NFL. Plus, with a college football playoff about to be revealed, Charles makes his case for Michigan. Next.
Can a car be crafted instead of produced? Designed with attention and care to give a feeling that stays with you. At Mazda, every detail matters because driving matters. The all-new 3-row Mazda CX-9.
First, there's shaving. Blades, sharp and precise. Then Gillette shielding, comfy lubrication before and after. And also, cooling. Ooh, got goosebumps. Gillette Pro Shield Chill with lubrication before and after the blades. Shields and cools while you shave. Pro Shield Chill from Gillette, the best a man can get. Pro Shield, available with or without chill.
There's more computing power in these little black boxes than there was in the entire Apollo 11 spaceship. So before you call and ask, hey, you got that Miami game on? Remember these boxes. Remember how we put astronauts' lives in their hands. Yeah, we got the Miami game on all right. We got games on you've never even heard of.
Esurance does auto insurance a smarter way, like their photo claims tool. It helps settle your claim quickly, which saves time, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's auto and home insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call. Esurance does insurance a smarter way, which saves money, like bundling home and auto coverage, which reduces red tape, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's home and auto insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call.
Trying to figure out what to do with these cleats.
That'd be kind of cool to use the lime green and make those dots. Yeah.
And the dots representing the 100 million plus that are affected by mental illness.
Yeah.
We would like to put 375 somewhere on the cleat.
And the outside heel of both cleats, I think it'll look great.
Now it's on you, bro. A lot of people watching. All right.
You have cancer. There's nothing you can do to prepare yourself.
Round 1 of chemotherapy. I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna survive. There's no way I'm gonna let this take over me.
Cancer doesn't care what you look like, who you are.
This whole fight is something that requires support.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Never give up!
Welcome back to Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Snickers.
Yeah, they hate, but they broke them. And when it's time to pop, they had no show. I can never lose. What you thought? These haters on my body, shake them low. Now this year I'm really going low. Ooh. Ooh.
How about those cheese?
Ooh. Ooh.
Now, here is a fun game. I think you guys all agree. 8-3 Kansas City off that unbelievable win at Denver. At 7-4 Atlanta, who are the Saints plus one. Like they just score. I mean, first place in the NFC South. Matt Ryan having a year like he had 4 or 5 years ago. This is his best year. There's a lot going on in this game. Early kick in Atlanta, high scoring.
You know, when I look at this Atlanta game, I'm looking at what the Kansas City Chiefs have been through and what they're getting ready to go through in the next couple of weeks, and how well they've been able to travel thus far. I think a week or two ago I said what they did in Carolina, coming back 17 points. But I look at where they are now. We just said that the month of December, and I started the show out with Separation Sunday. The Kansas City Chiefs really need to go into Atlanta to stop this high-octane, high-explosive offense. They're averaging almost 7 yards per play. Run, pass, screen, whatever they're doing, almost 7 yards per play. But when I look at the what's the wide receiver's name that
Little Hill?
Taylor Gabriel?
For Atlanta?
Gabriel.
18.
You know, when Gabriel was able to come out and make those 2 screen plays, look so easy, that took my attention straight to Julio Jones. If this guy, Taylor Gabriel, is able to stay consistent with these little plays and turn them into big plays, that's only a big and better things can happen to Julio Jones. But Trent, I'm going to have to bite off you. All that said, I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Come on, man.
You're learning. Say something really good about a team and then flip on them right away and pick the other team.
And this time, that's what you're not going to do, right?
Exactly. I'm not going to do it this time. You start getting a profile of how teams want to play this time of year. Kansas City wants a snot bubbler. Every time they play, they want a snot bubbler. They want it to be condensed. They want to bang heads. They want to make it ugly. Falcons want to make it a track meet.
Yes.
The Falcons want to spread you out and get their matchups, and they have some tremendous matchup advantages, not just Gabriel and Julio Jones, but their running backs. You get these running backs matched up on big linebackers just want to come downhill and hit you, you have a huge advantage. You look at what these dual threats have done out of the backfield this year. It's pretty amazing, and instead of just talking play-by-play, you just see the matchups. They do a great job of finding a linebacker, isolating them on a back, getting to the back, the ball in space, and making linebackers do what they don't want to do, and that's go cover. They want to play downhill. They don't want to be out in the slot covering a running back on a wide receiver out underneath. And the Falcons do an amazing job displacing their backs, forcing you to be uncomfortable at the linebacker position. And Kansas City has not had a lot of success when their backers are matched up in pass. You watch them against the Colts, a basic little check down to Frank Gore. I mean, these guys practice, Charles, as you know, all the time. Check down, check down, check down, especially in the red zone. But again, they're uncomfortable. They're backpedaling. Now they're coming forward. They don't make the tackle in space. Turns into a touchdown. I look at this game, Atlanta turning into a track meet, making Kansas City play a game they don't want to play, and Atlanta wins.
Yeah, last week we talked about Kansas City's defense going against the Denver Broncos defense and how they matched up defense-wise with the playmakers that they have on both sides. But today, for me, it's all about the matchups, as you just talked about. To me, the biggest matchup problem they have to me is along with Taylor Gabriel stepping on the scene, is Tevin Coleman. I think he makes all the difference in the world as far as having their full arsenal of weapons. I'm not going to go with a butt, Randy. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons at home today. That defense played really excellent football last week. That's all they really need is for the defense to come around. Atlanta Falcons at home.
Yeah, these are two really good teams on the verge of being great teams. I think Kansas City is probably the third best team in the AFC. I think they'll do better in the playoffs than people think right now. Atlanta Falcons, I feel the same way for the reasons that you just said. I do like Alex Smith. I think he's growing and maturing as a player. But today I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons. AFC versus NFC, great game. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. I think that both teams will play their best football as the playoffs get going here.
Well, let me do this. I think it's a wash a little bit. The outstanding offense, Atlanta, outstanding defense, Kansas City. What I mean by wash, mid-20s. Like, neither team plays it quite on the terms they want. So now, if I'm correct there, it comes down to the other units. The Kansas City offense, which has trouble scoring touchdowns, against the Atlanta defense, which is improving, but how is it? And I see the Kansas City offense maybe making a big play or two that they don't normally make. And Eric Berry, Justin Houston from Atlanta. They're playing at home. I like that. So I'm picking the Chiefs in a one-point game in the mid. Now, wait a minute. Now, all right, who's faster? This I want to ask you. Tyreek Hill, because that was ridiculous, right?
Look at this joystick.
Or Gabriel. Like, look at the stats. 40-yard dash, 4.24, 4.28. What do you guys think?
I got Randy.
Who's faster? What do you think?
I'm going Tyreek Hill. I'm going Gabriel.
Matter? It's like Ferrari, Lamborghini. Doesn't matter.
They're both pretty dependable. And now let's go to another game. Chevy dependable. Randy, what do you think?
Devontae Adams, man, for the Green Bay Packers. Last week, Monday night, against the Philadelphia Eagles. 5 catches, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. They want to keep this thing going like Aaron Rodgers said. They're going to have to get this man the ball. Down here by Jordy Nelson. Love what I'm seeing out of Devontae Adams. Keep it up, young buck.
Well, we began, well, no, that's going to be that's Grapevine. Condoleezza Rice.
Condoleezza.
She knows her football. There's no question about that. So they still.
I fell, being lost to your roar, shot me dead. I was lost and said to the voices in my head, gotta get up again, I gotta get up to another day, I'm not giving up again.
Look into my